Yeah. Yeah, now it's fine.
Well,
Yeah, not sure what this link is doing. Yeah, we're live now. All right. Sorry for the delay,
alright.
guys. Just to reiterate, we are in the first semi-final of the LoL India Semi Pro Cup. On the left side, you have Elemental Squad. The right side, we On the right side, we
We have
have
Pew Pew
Pew Pew
Lazers.
Lasers. I have with me my awesome co-caster, Fufu Fufu. I'm sorry, you might have to just say hi again, just to make sure
Well,
everything is good.
I don't mind saying hi to my viewers. Like, I hope they're having a
Yeah,
great day as
millions
well.
of your tens of fans, legit, who are watching the YouTube video right now. Just moving back, okay, let's just talk about the comms on the blue
Microphone muted.
side. You do see a Zyra Khan pickup, which I like. Mid laner is gonna be a Vladimir, and that's a jungle Diana. What do you think? Since you're a
Hmm.
jungler yourself, Fufu, nowadays playing for Ruthless, what do you think of that matchup, jungle versus Trundle? Sorry, like
So
Diana versus
right
Trundle.
right now, like it's whoever can control most of the scuttles, they get ahead just because the scuttle gives so much EXP and gold right now. So it's like if Trundle meets Diana like at level 2, Trundle will obviously like stomp on Diana because he can like his auto attacks are far more stronger than Diana's auto attack.
What do you think
So
is the idea behind this
oh no,
Trundle? So for this
I
Diana
think they're gonna
jungle.
have no, never mind. It's gonna be a Trundle top and a Lee Sin jungle. So anyways, Lee Sin
Oh,
actually has a even stronger early game, so that's gonna be like really rough for the Scuttle control.
yeah, I'm really curious to see what's happening with regards to the Diana pick. Like, I'm not sure how that's going to work. Is it just like, are you going to look
Mm,
to farm till level 6 and then maybe probably make a playoff of a lane with your CC, or do you
well,
think early ganking is still possible?
there is like a certain jungle path that gives you a really good like clear, but then the Lee Sin is really good at ganking early game. So if Lee Sin gets pressure off early game and like if Diana can't put really any pressure till she's level 6, like she doesn't have really the best gank till 6, but after that like she starts actually dueling Lee Sin and all. But till then, before that, it's gonna stomp all over Diana. Well, then it all comes down to the scuttle collapse. So it's like whoever has lane priority actually like wins the jungle out too.
Yep, that's actually very true. We are playing on the new patch, guys. That has to be reminded where all the jungle changes have come across, and some bit of changes are coming, which make the rifts, the scuttle crab, a really, really good,
Yeah.
worth catching thing for both early games. So I think we're gonna have a lot more early game jungle junglers trying to fight over the scuttle crab a lot, which should be pretty fun to watch.
Well,
Uh,
at after you're like level 9 as the average level for the team, the scuttle crab actually gives you 140 gold, which is like
Insane.
it's and it's like it dies so quick. It's not like it doesn't take much of your time. It gives you so much gold and so much EXP. Like the EXP scales up as well. It goes like to some 200 or something like that. I mean that's 200 is I think it's level 2. The level 1 EXP is 110, dude. It's like doing a Gromp. Like Scuttle Gromp is that good. Like at
Yep.
level 1.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking forward to see how these comps play out. You do see that, Pew Pew Lasers have got some of their comfort picks. There is a Trundle on the top lane for PK or Earth. There is the Talia for Grimsley, who himself was very, very happy to play that. On the other side, you do have a Vladimir, I think, who will also, have a lot of team fighting damage. And there's a Darius in the top lane against a Trundle. So, that matchup, how do you think that's going to play out, Fufu?
Yeah,
Particularly into
Darius is
damage.
a really good like matchup against Trundle, but then if Lee Sin ganks for like Trundle gets him ahead, but then Darius is like it's more like a one-way lane. Like if Darius loses his the lane out, he's lane out forever. Like there's no coming back. So he has to like snowball on the Trundle.
Yeah, that's the thing we'll have to look at and see. Hopefully, turns pans out well, because I think a lot of this jungle, of a lot of the top lane might even be dictated by the Lee Sin ganking for the Trundle. I do feel that later this game goes, Trundle will end up outscaling and outsplit pushing the Darius. So
Yep.
Darius needs to use all of his early game power to make sure he gets an advantage in that lane. And even for bot lane, I think the top and the bot lane for Elemental squads are stronger in the 2v2 and the 1v1 early game, so they do have some pushing power if
Yep.
need be. It really depends a lot on how these people play out. I
Well, to
mean,
be honest, Caitlyn Tompkins is also a really good bot lane. Like, they just constantly shove these Aya Rakan under turret, and like, because Caitlyn, if she starts Q, I don't think there's any champion that can match like or like level 1 just to wave clear and all. Because like Tompkins will have his relic shield as well, and he can just eat up 2 minions, and Caitlyn can just hit Q on like 4 of the minions and like just nail it down so to touch that level 2. So they don't get like out leveled by level 2, and Zyrakan don't like press the lead, because Zyrakan is like strong at level 2 once they have their combo, you know. Like so Zaya, like I mean Rakan goes stuns, Zaya like uses one of her spell to like her mostly her W, because she's with Rakan, and then like changes it up with her E and CCs and does a good trade.
definitely, I'm looking forward to seeing how these both these teams play out, and I'm hoping this will be a fun and a close series and not a one-sided stomp. Elemental Squad have shown good consistency, and they have beaten out better teams on their road to semifinals. And Pew Pew Lazers have only played one game, but they looked extremely good in that game. So we'll have to wait and see how this one pans out. And as we load into the Summoner's Rift loading screen, you do see that none of Elemental Squad guys have a skin, whereas there are around three skins from the side of Pew Pew Laser. So they're definitely winning the skin game so far.
Yeah. I mean,
Glacial
it's so rare to actually not see skins now, just because you have the Hextech loot right now, so it's like a free, you get free skins every now and then.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think of Glacial Augment on
No,
Tomkins? I'm very interested in that.
it's really good. So yesterday we just played against like this challenger team, and like they were running glacial augment, and it was really annoying. Like if he gets in your melee range, right, you have to burn a summoner or an escape just to get out of his melee range. Otherwise, he'll eat you up and get you in a bad position. So he'll like use Q, and if he gets melee range, that slow is incredible.
True. I like the Tomkins pickup, and Glacial Augment actually gives them some bit of laning prowess, so they can catch
Yeah.
people off by slowing them, and even in team fights, if they're able to do so, it's gonna be pretty easy as well. So, uh, yeah, let's go. Let's head on to the Rift and see which team's gonna get the game one lead. It is a best of three, mind you guys. So even if one team loses a game right now, they still have a chance to come back in games 2 and 3. The toss was won by Pew Pew Lasers, who chose red side on their first game, and for the second game, the side selection will be done by I think
losing
Elemental
team.
Squad. Just to
Oh.
reiterate, like I have with me my awesome co-caster Fufu Cutie, who is the jungler
Hello.
for Ruthless Gaming, mind you. Ruthless Gaming is a challenger flex team who currently play in Garena Singapore server. So I'm talking to like one of the most awesome pros in the league scene. What's up, Fufu? How are you?
I'm fine, dude. That's
Yeah,
like
I just did that because everyone's asking who's the co-caster on our chat, so
Oh,
I had to make sure that we let them know who you are, because
alright, alright.
Yep. Bakito, let's see. Hopefully, level 1 shenanigans. I don't. Do you think anyone's gonna do an invade? I don't think so. It looks like pretty
I
much
mean,
gonna be
the
chill.
team com doesn't look like, both of them don't have the best team com. If there's an invade, I would expect like a PP lasers to invade, because they seem to have like more damage at level 1, but then none of them have CC. That's the problem. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
and
that's
that's
it.
the main problem for PP lasers, is they lack a really, like, they lack hard CC.
Let's see how they work on that. That's gonna be interesting. And if we do line up till loading scene, the game will start. What I'm gonna look out for, especially Grimsley on his Telia. He was just telling me yesterday of how he was hoping he'll get to play Telia as he really loves playing that champion, and he is pretty good at him. So let's see. He has gotten his champion that he wanted. So let's see if he's able to have some impact. You do see a pause coming out in the early game. I'm guessing it's gonna be from the side of
I think Trundle DC'd. That's what they said right in chat. So
ah.
I think
Oh,
he should reconnect soon. He shouldn't take long. It's probably battle ping or something like that.
Yeah. No, I don't think they're Indian, so that's
Yeah, but
I
still,
don't think.
some of them I think use Battle Ping.
Alright, hopefully reconnect soon.
Yep. So looking at the masteries, we got like all the standard stuff. Phase. Yeah, we got like phase rush on Darius, which is like the go-to mastery.
Yep. I'm like the Darius does have the tools to deal with the Trundle from early to mid game, and if he gets a couple of kills, then
Yeah,
it's really
it's
good
it's
for him.
really hard for Trundle to actually come back unless he gets. To be honest, the lane is really bad for Trundle. He just needs to like manage the wave properly and just survive till like help arrives.
That's true. He will definitely lose out on the early trades. Let's see how PK Rod plays this early game. Does not give advantages to Shahu 95, and Shahu 95, to be honest, has looked very consistent across the entire tournament. We have seen him play a lot of games, and he has proven to be that top laner that has always not died in the wrong places and is always been consistent. So hopefully, like he's able to prove that, because this is where it all matters. It's a semi-finals game. It is being streamed and it is a best of three. This is where all the nerves and all the teamwork that these guys are doing is going to come out, and we'll have to see which team at the end of the day does come out on top because of this. And you do see Talia is the only one in the whole game who's opted for minion dematerialize of this game. Do you think anyone's gonna build a banner on command?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see like they aren't this traditional champion that build, but Trundle could build it, but he's gonna lose his lane even harder if it does build that. So it's not gonna be at least the early game. We
Yep.
like,
That's
but like
that's
if they even if they build it like. If it's not gonna be the early game, like the enemy team won't build it like at level 1 unless Vladimir goes for that crazy level, first item banner, which
yep.
I've obviously. But then the other way around, they have enough AD to actually kill the banner once it comes down to the mid game or late game.
That's true. I mean, even the split pushers are AD, so they can actually do enough
Yeah.
damage to get that out too. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. Meanwhile, we are waiting for the Trundle to reconnect. If you've just joined us, this is the first semi-finals of the Semi-Pro Cup. It's between Elemental Squad and Pew Pew Lazers. Elemental Squad are on the blue side of the map, and the Trundle has disconnected. Hopefully, he will connect as soon as possible so we can get underway pretty fast.
Hmm. Hey, is my mic too loud?
I think it is getting some feedback, but that
Alright.
Amit will, Rage Kuda will have to adjust your mic volume. That's
Alright.
about it.
Well, this is just the traditional League
Yeah,
of
this is
India
this
scene.
is, this is not like, surprisingly enough, we did not get a lot of pauses in most of the tournament, but when Sunset comes back to the bigger games, which is basically, yeah. Alright.
Especially when you're streaming it. It's like the streaming curse.
Probably that's the whole reason, yeah. But this should be fun.
Yeah, well, I just heard a reconnect right now, so the game should start sometime soon. Maybe he's just doing his settings now.
Yeah. The reconnect noise is always a pleasant one to hear because okay, finally the game's about to start. Summoner has reconnected. I like both the comms overall. Fufu, what do you think of both the comms in isolation? Like on the blue side, Elemental Squad does do
PP
have.
lasers really have like a really good team fighting comp, but then once the Vladimir scales up, it just turns around. It becomes like more of an elemental team fights comp because early game PP lasers should win out because of their superior like early game champs, we can say,
Hmm.
which is Lee Sin. Talia is like decent early game as well. And Trundle just becomes like he can just build damage and become beefy just because of his ultimate. That's the team fight. But once Vladimir gets his item, Rakan like provides the CC and Diana and like everyone just clumps on together. So if they get caught up in that wombo combo or something, they they're gonna lose that fight.
Yeah, that's what. Hopefully the Trundle does reconnect. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna go and check if these guys are reconnected. Once.
I did hear a reconnect. I think that was the Trundle reconnect. Yep, they're gonna resume right now.
Alright, I have been informed that these guys have started the game, so hopefully the pause won't feel for longer.
Alright. Well, yeah, the resume did go on.
Yes. Finally, we will see level 1s coming out. I'm guessing it's gonna be the standard lanes.
I mean, standard, no invades, no setups. Just defensive lines.
Chill scenes happening. I think the first 3 minutes of the laning phase will probably tell us if everyone is more or less equally matched in skill, or if certain
never mind. It looks
players
like
are.
PP Layers wants to invade. They're going grouping up as 5 and they're gonna see the Vladimir right now.
Vladimir does spot them out though, so that's actually a good catch for the Vladimir, making sure that he understands that the team is invading, and I think they just need to be careful right now, and the Q does miss. It's a ward by Shao95, does get cancelled out, but they does give vision of the 5 people of Pew Pew Lazers, and that's basically means that now Elemental Squad is going to the blue side of Pew Pew Lazers. It might just put out a ward there, but they also back out, and I think
they just
between all the shenanigans, it seems to be pretty fine.
Yeah, they just put good vision down. Like they'll now know because of the deep ward where Lee Sin's gonna start, so it's gonna give some advantage over to Diana. I mean, like PP layers also have a ward down in the blue buff, so both the junglers know where they're gonna start right now, so they're gonna play according.
Yep, and I'm actually curious to see what Captain Mark on this Diana is going to do, because he has gone for the Diana jungle pick, which is pretty good. It is a diver of sorts, and you know, when you have a Vladimir and a Diana jumping onto your ADC, I'm not even sure Tom Kench's swallow is going to be enough to stop that from happening. So I'm looking forward to seeing that happen. Both the junglers did on the bottom side of the map. You do see some level 1 trades coming out, right? And I think it might be going a little bit in favor of both of them, but the Trundle Chomp also helps to reduce AD, which is quite useful. But
especially he has the bone play, so it's like really helping for that, like, you know, the 3 auto trades.
Yeah, I mean,
and the grass to sustain it back.
Yeah. Did Shahu not opt for bone plating on the secondary? It doesn't seem like
no, it doesn't seem so, because I didn't see any bone plating on him.
Yeah, that's actually a little bit not good for the Darius, because these trades then he is gonna lose out on them because of lack of bone plating on his side. That's actually very good.
He's not really gonna lose out. It's like he could have won it way, like he could have been much ahead in these trades, but oh, he just missed his grappling hood. That's not something that he's supposed to do. And you can see like
he is playing a little slow, as well.
Yeah, we can see both the junglers just taking that like scurry crab, so it's like getting control on one side, and Diana playing it smart, like knowingly Lee Sin's, you know, she saw Lee Sin going to the scurry trap, so she knows she can't fight the Lee Sin, so
oh, that's actually a very good trade by PK Oroth, but then again, you don't want to trade a lot against a Darius, my friend. 1 Q there with full stacks, and I just feel that Darius is being a little too scared right there. Fufu, what do you think? I think he could have done more than that.
I think that Darius shouldn't have taken the trade, because I mean, the Trundle was level 3, he had a level up on the Darius, so if Darius had all his skills there, like he was the same level, Darius would have hands down won it, but then he was fighting in between minions and
he took a lot of damage.
And a level disadvantage, so that's like definitely not how you're supposed to play the lane.
Definitely. Meanwhile, at the bot lane, you do see some skirmishes happening, and a flash tuned by bonus team right there to avoid the W from Rakan right there. So that's like decently well played there, but they are a little bit behind. The Caitlyn and Tam, like you said, Fufu, are pushing the lane quite hard, and they are losing CS right now. The bot lane of Elemental Squad, they are around 12 CS behind. So even though the flash is lost by the Caitlyn, the pressure that is being put by people is just pretty good right now.
Yep, she just needs to like take care that she doesn't miss position herself now, because she was so close to the turret that I was like kind of misplay for her, but she got a jail free card for now. I hope she doesn't get caught later then, because it's gonna be pretty bad right now. And you can see a trade coming out
for the mid lane, but it doesn't need too much, and you do see Shao there having a good trade, and again, he's not playing aggressive in my opinion, which I think he can do right now. He is a Darius, he does beat the Trundle, but he's just like happy trying to farm it out, I don't know. He is
Maybe
around.
he's just respecting the Lee Sin early game, so he's
Probably,
like,
yeah.
yeah, he's trying to keep the wave under his turret, which is doing a really good job right now. So hopefully he can catch back on the CS that like the early push, which puts down like you get zoned out of the CS because there's like the enemy gets like higher level than you before like you
Definitely.
can reach the same level. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the CS disparity, even though there are smaller leads, but every lane of Pew Pew Lasers has around a 5 to 10 CS lead or more on the ball side of the map as well. So it's things from an early game perspective are pretty good for Pew Pew Lasers.
Well, that's the like that's the champs they opted into, like the lane pressure into like getting that lead ahead. That's what they have to. So like it's going according to their plan right now.
Yeah, like, I'm just surprised about the top lane pick. I genuinely
Yeah,
thought the Trundle would have had more advantage. Sorry, the Darius would have had more advantages,
exactly. That's the only lane that should not be winning, and it's winning right now. So it's really going really good for PP.
definitely. Bot lane as well, I'm getting concerned for Korean Streak and Suechi. They're 20 CS behind at 5 minutes now, and this lead just seems to be going further and further. They need to try to stop the bleeding somehow. And I think Diana herself is kind of happy because Lee Sin has not ganked any lane so far, and she is even on levels with the Lee Sin as well, and she does get back to buy her jungle items as well. So I think she's just happy to farm it out till 6, and then she'll look to probably take some trades.
Well, if the Diana just gets to farm and like hit her leveled up and then
Oh, that's
gank,
level
she'll
6 by
obviously
PK
win.
Aura. He's gonna go ham, and the Talia ult is being used as a flash being used by there, and Captain Awesome is level 4. He does not have much to do. He does land his Q, but Divine is a lot full health right now. He does not have his W actually. He might be in trouble right there. He doesn't even have flash, and he chooses to back out. His Q is up and he chooses to use it, and that should be first blood right there for Captain Awesome. So really well played by both the mid jungle synergy coming out right there, and he does get a kill for Pew Pew Lasers. So Pew Pew Lasers, the pressure and the ganks are paying off for them.
And I can see that Darius is really struggling against the Trundle, which is actually not supposed to happen. Like he's missing his hooks as well. So it's like they need to stop the bleeding there. They just need to like get Diana level 6 and then hit top. Otherwise, it's gonna be really hard for Darius to split push.
Yep, and actually that also like Lee Sin being at the right time really helped his team out. Meanwhile, Diana has not even moved out of her jungle, maybe just wants to get the scuttle crab, and it's not looking well for her laners because all of them are suffering pretty hard right now, and this might become a sort of a snowball coming into this if they do not get some sort of advantage in some of the lanes, because like there is some poke on the Tompkins, but he has his grey health and he will take all of it back. So yeah, it's just looking pretty grim right now, I have to say, for Elemental Squad.
Yep. Well, it's going to the early game plan of Elemental Squad. If they can just catch or like push on this lead further, they should just win out the game off that. But then like Diana is farming really well right now. She's like ahead. She's like doing on par with her later. So that's
but like I'm just thinking, what good is it giving her team? Like everyone's behind on CS.
Yeah,
Pew Pew
exactly.
Lasers have gone, and now they're gonna do the dragon, which is an infernal, which is a very good dragon to start off with, and that just gives out more advantages for Pew Pew Lasers right now.
Well, I just realized the Lee Sin is level 5, but he's falling behind on the levels against the Diana. I mean, even after the gank coming out, that's not a good sign.
Well, he has a lot of camps that he hasn't taken. Almost entirety of his red side camps are up, which I'm guessing he will get 6 if he just takes a couple of those camps, which he seems to be doing. The blue buff trade will be given over to Talia.
Yeah, you can see TP going top, like he's just using that TP with no respect. And there's a fight going up in the top lane.
Yeah, these are like tickles being given to each other, and Shahu is just playing so defensive at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know why you picked Darius if you're playing defensive, buddy.
He just needs to put down some good vision, and then he needs to bully the lane now.
Yeah. I mean, this was a pick that was taken to dominate lane, and you're 20 CS behind, and you're scared to take trades, and I don't know. I'm just disappointed with that kind of a trade. I don't know why he thinks he can't outtrade the Trundle. He can, but the problem right now is Trundle is level 6. So he does have a lot of damage too. So now it's not going to be as easy for the Darius
Trundle has his items right now to actually fight and 1v1 the Darius.
the window that Shahu had on the Darius to actually outtrade the Trundle, it's getting smaller and smaller as the minutes go by, and being behind in CS is not helping that cause, and that window just keeps getting very narrower per second per minute right now. Captain Awesome does come top, does get the ping for out, so there is no vision for Shahu in the mid lane. Though that's good poke put on to the Vladimir by the Talia right there, and you do see another pause coming out. All right.
I'd just like to point out that all the laners are up by 300 gold on the of Pew Pew layers against their counterparts. So that's like giving a kill to every laner just because of the CS difference right now.
Yep, and that basically has given them a nearly 2000 gold lead purely onto the back of the first blood and the CS leads that they have. It's very impressive from the side of Pew Pew Lazers, I have to say. I think Elemental Squad might be feeling the nerves a little. They're not playing as confidently as they did in other games, especially the top and the jungle as well. Like, it just be non-existent. Yeah, bro, you're level 7 already. Like, now maybe it's the time to start ganking.
Yeah.
And he's not. He's just like farming simulator his jungle at this point. I'm not sure how that works. And
there is something that gets landed on. And there's a fight going on in the bot lane, and it's gonna be an easy disengage. Like, Kamkan is just gonna he's just gonna do his thing, eat his AD carry, and deliver him to safety.
Yeah, that makes Tamkinch a good pick against the Rakan if he's able to do so. But if the Rakan can get both the Tamkinch and the Caitlyn in his W or his charm, that's when he can do a lot more, like damage in trades. And
I just realized that Diana doesn't even have boots right now, so ganks will be that like weaker.
Yeah, I have a feeling Talia is going to look to gank the bot lane right now, but it is what. It is Warden and she will get found out. And Diana and Talia meet each other, and I think Diana should go in, but the Tamkinch is there. She does smite to receive the health, and oh my gosh, Switchy, bro, he just like uses ulti like this. Like the Q from Lee Sin does misses, and yeah, that was a weird attempt at a gank from Pew Pew Lazers. Does not exactly work out because Diana was coincidentally there at the right time, and they should be a disengage coming out right there for Elemental Squad. Meanwhile, top lane, you see another skirmish coming out, and then Shahu is just running away every time this happens. If I were you, bro, I'd just try to damage him.
Yeah, dude, you just need to get like your stacks on him and kite her out, use your cooldown properly. You can't let him auto so many times on you.
Yeah, this is in double right now. This is not good for him. He has to flash out. I think the flash Q auto, and that's it. That's gonna be a single solo kill by PK Earth on Shahu. And like you said, the advantage on that lane, the CS difference and the itemization, Trundle gets his level 6 and does get the solo kill. That is looking really bad right there for Elemental Squad. And their bot lane also has backed, and that probably could mean a first tower as well. So Pew Pew Lazers have really started snowballing this game out of control. At least like a good snowball coming out.
At least in the early game it's going different, like how the way they wanted to. And now it depends on how they played further. Like they have to rotate this Caitlyn all around the map just to take more turrets down. You can see the Talia and the Lee Sin moving bot. They're looking to cut out the Zaya Rakan, but the Caitlyn has 1700 gold, so she's opting to back and like just spend it all and then move to another turret.
Definitely. And it's looking pretty bad because I'm guessing there will be a lane swap coming out right there, or
no, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, so they're just gonna like
it looks like Caitlyn and Tom are actually gonna go mid lane now. And they look to get down.
But it makes sense. The mid lane tower and the Vladimir won't be able to do much against the Caitlyn, like pushing her a lot. And like top lane, I think is happy. Turner doesn't mind. Like he is growing his CS lead to 40 right now at 12.5 minutes.
I'd like to point it out that like Zaya and Rakan are actually just freezing in the bot, which is not what you wanna do because if you
you lose so much pressure, right?
Yeah, exactly. By the time the wave gets pushed back towards the turret, like Caitlyn can catch it all and actually do damage anywhere else. You can see the Weaver wall coming in onto from the
But that's gonna be trouble for Grimsy, right? He does get caught and that does flash out, and that's a good 3-man kickback Captain Awesome, saving his mid laner's life right there. That would have been a kill for Elemental Squad, and that basically now rotate towards the mid side, and Divine is already less than half health. He really can't wave clear at this point, and Shuichi trying to be there, but he's getting so much poke right now. Meanwhile, Shahu is gonna get beaten up again by the Trundle, who does ulti him right now. His pillar is down, and I think if he does manage to land some damage,
he
should run away. The Tamkinch does follow. He is solo though. Glacial Augment auto attack does land. and the phase rush from Darius should help him escape, and another Q lands and it should be a good
And we
disengage
can
coming
see
out.
bonus
Meanwhile,
team
Caitlyn getting
walking.
caught out there. The Diana finally comes online right now. The ignite as well. The flash out. The Captain Markin gets the first kill for Elemental Squad.
That's some really bad positioning by Caitlyn. She has no reason to be there, especially with no reason. She's not the one who's supposed to want that deep. Like,
yeah, the support's supposed to be doing that for her, but she ended up doing so and gets caught, and a good catch on to her by the Elemental Squad team. So at least now they get one kill back. There's still nearly a 5,000 gold deficit at 14 minutes, and I think PK Oroth is just gonna scale up to be the split push monster that no one can catch up to. He's already out trading the Darius, and it's just 14 minutes.
We can see
the
a
game.
teleport coming up in the top lane by the Vladimir behind the Trundle and the Tom. You can see.
I'm not sure who the target is going to be. There's a nice ulti landed by PK Oroth, and I think this is the time where, oh my god, they just let him go.
Yeah. Oh, I think Darius didn't have mana to ult.
Yeah, that does not have mana, and he does run away. So. Oh, that's actually a nice flash Q. Do get a kill, so at least the teleport was worth it. And there's around 4 people of Elemental Squad on top of the map. That should be a tower for them. Meanwhile, on the other side, the dragon is being taken by Pew Pew Lazers in return. So at least some proactivity shown there by
To be honest, getting the turret is way better than fighting for the dragon, because they're getting gold back for the team, which they desperately need. Otherwise,
yep, that 5k gold suddenly becomes like 3.5k gold if you get the tower right now. So some semblance, some sense of solace right now, and that's actually a good thing for Elemental Squad. The kill also goes to the Vladimir, who is also important because he's the one who's going to be going into the backline and trying to kill off the Caitlyn and the Talia as well. Meanwhile, the Pew Pew Lazers are going to get a return tower back in the mid lane. No one's there to respond to them, and that should be a free tower. Diana does come, lands a nice R onto the Lee Sin. That's going to be a kill onto the Lee Sin. He tried to flash out the tower damage, cannot avoid the flash tower damage, so they go get the tower. Oh, Vladimir is pretty ahead right now. I'm not sure what he's trying to do, but he does back up, and then Korean Slayer with the double ulti, and that's a nice flash ulti by Elemental Squad, and they actually get a kill back. There's basically 2 kills for 0, but here comes Trundle, and that's actually the pillar blocks himself from engaging at that point. So it's a 2 for 0 coming out for Elemental Squad. They do lose a tower, but at least some proactive plays are being shown by them.
Well, in the first place, like there should have been someone recalling in the start to defend those towers. They shouldn't like give these second interior towers like up so easily.
Definitely,
I can see, like, the Rift Herald being taken down right now. Like they mostly use that in the top lane just to take down the outer tower.
Yeah, and you do see the scuttle being taken, but Korean Sheik is there. And it's a nice 3-man stun and an ulti right there. The Caitlyn is getting damage and will die. The Diana actually does a lot of damage too, but the Trundle comes in flash autos, and that's a flash missed by the Downscage, and that basically gives them 2 kills. And Shao 95 gets a kill as well. That failed flash really looking pretty bad for them. And I think this Vladimir or the Trundle might be in trouble. The Trundle might be in trouble, and
the
that's a lot of engage coming out right there. Grimsy does
right
get a kill back on Korean Sheik, and this is going to be difficult right now for Elemental Squad. They do get 1 kill back. Grimsy going to be in trouble as well. Yeah, that's basically going to be 1 kill, and that's actually going to be another kill. So that's a double kill for the Darius and a double kill for the Vladimir, and they get a complete ace just when you thought that, okay, you know, like Pew Pew Lazers are going to win out this game. A good comeback by Elemental Squad. I don't know why Pew Pew Lazers needed to team fight right there, but they just kept dying one after the other, and that basically gave them a lot of the pressure back onto the hands of Elemental Squad, and they are back in the game.
So Lee Sin wanted to wall jump over, but just because he took the Rift Scuttle, he started channeling the Rift Scuttle in between all of the fight.
Oh Lord. This game is a little funny to watch at this point, especially the Tompkins failing to ult himself and his carry out of the pit, and the both
he wanted to actually sacrifice himself and throw the Caitlyn on the other side, assuming that's what's happening, but Caitlyn actually just jumped on the wrong side, and like everything went wrong in that team fight for them.
Yeah. So what this does is the Diana actually gets pretty fed right now. You know, like she was not doing a lot in the early game, but she did come back, and it allows the Darius to get a couple of kills, allows the Vladimir to get a couple of kills. So right now you're not looking at the deficit, it's just around a 2,500 gold deficit from 5k. So, and team fights, you know, like Elemental Squad have shown better team fighting, I'd have to say, or maybe just Pew Pew Lazers have not been as coordinated as in their team fights as they can, you know. So it's
I
actually,
think PP Layers are actually doing a lot of mistakes. Like coming, like they played the lane phase flawless, but coming into the team fight, they've been showing a lot of mistakes. They've been giving Elemental the chance to come back and like close down the gold lead right now.
yeah, definitely. The CS disparity doesn't mean a lot. If the Vladimir gets to scale and the Zaya gets a lot of damage, that's going to be difficult for her. And I do see Shao 95 is going to be a lot of trouble. There is a 4-man blue buff invade, and not sure. Oh, he's smartly looking to back right now. Let's see if he's going to get to finish his back. Meanwhile, Elemental Squad have realized that 4 people are on the bot side of the map, top side of the map, and they are going to look to get the bot lane tower. And Shao 95 has backed. So good on him for backing at the right time, and that probably is going to be a tower trade from each side of the map. Meanwhile, the Vladimir is also rotating towards the mid to see if something can be avoided. He does ultimate around 2 people, and Diana just comes in and does a lot of damage and deletes the Lee Sin right there. So that's actually not bad. It's a 1-for-1. So 1-for-0 trade. They do lose the tower. The Talia does ult to prevent the bot lane tower from being taken. She might actually have succeeded. So overall, the trade might still be beneficial for Elemental for Pew Pew Lazers, unless somehow they find a way to get this tower. But oh my god, so Bhishi is going to take a lot of damage right now. And meanwhile, though, there's a nice ulti, and he does die in the process, and he might just even be able to kill off Korean Sheik. Korean Sheik should just look to auto. He has a red buff right now, bro. What are you doing? There he is. A TP is being used by the Darius, but that won't be required.
So
he does cancel
the TP actually, he just cancelled the TP because like
it,
Grimsley played the earlier part really good, but then he just kept missing his Qs. Which kind of got him killed right there.
Yeah.
But in overall, there was a good rotation by Pew Pew Lazers, like just to see that again the bot lane is freezing bot, so they will just rotate somewhere else, get the turret, get the gold league back, like a bigger gold league in the favor, and they did like Elemental Squad basically did nothing much in response. They tried to get the bot lane turret, yes, but that was too late. Like they did more of a reactive play than like an active play right there.
Yeah, what I'm looking at right now in this game is 100% Captain Mark. This Diana pick, we were questioning it in draft, we were questioning it in the first 5 minutes of the game, and all he did was AFK farm. But that guy just deleted the Lease in the last team fight, and before that he was the one who did most damage to the Caitlyn, and he is building AP right now. He's finished his Stinger along with his Runic Echoes, so if he dives onto someone, he's going to do a lot of damage.
Like an AFK farm for most of the part of the game, so it didn't hurt him to AFK farm that much. So even his lane was like losing pretty bad, that kind of worked in Diana's favor.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if she's gonna be able to do much. I'm still worried about this Trundle who has finished his Tiamat and is going to go for a Randuin's next, which is going to be really good against it. But right now he seems to be in trouble because the Diana is there, and I'm not sure what the Diana is doing. Why isn't she going in? Oh, the Tamkin study does come. Probably she noticed that out. It's going to be a 2v2 so far. Kaiten's coming as well, and Shao might be in trouble also. Oh, he just dumps after the Diana and he's going to kill her. No, the Tamkins eats at the right time, and that's going to be Vladimir with the ulti as well, and that's also going to be a kill onto the Lee Sin. So 1-for-1 trade, and Vladimir and Divine uppity for like chasing very hard. Shurilas as being used. Both the movement speed items are down from Vladimir, so you might not be able to chase much. Meanwhile, the Zyra Khan on the bot side of the map do follow in, which does not net them much. Are they going to start pushing the bot lane, get the damage, or something? You'll have to see. But the Diana damage right now is very insane. She almost 100 to 0'd Caitlyn when she dove, and there is a good eat by the by Tribulation to make sure that she survived right there.
Yep. In that team fight, I like to point out that in the they were focusing different targets. PP lasers in the start, so which kind of lost them the fight there.
Oh, there is fight going on. Yeah, we do see another fight coming out right there. Flash is being used, and there is a teleport onto the Darius, which he does use, and that's a nice W onto Shao, and it's a 3-man E that's landed by the Darius, and everyone's in low health. Come on, guys, do damage, and they tried to, but they disengaged pretty safely, and that's just going to be a net 0-for-0. But that looked very scary for a second for both teams, and the teleport does save them a little bit here as well. The Q does land, and oh my god, he just goes in. Why do you go in, Captain Austin? There are 4 people right there, and meanwhile Diana as well going ham, and she does get the kill onto the Tom Kent. So Elemental Squad are coming out right now and winning these team fights, and they might just get the bot lane tower right now.
Yep, the Diana farming up is actually just working, and also the Ladmer is doing so much in this team fight with the Diana, and then the follow up like CC from Rakan and the damage from Zaya. It's really winning in the team fights.
Most definitely, Divine is doing a lot in these team fights, and Suichi also has some really good engages. He might seem to be in trouble right now, but okay, that healer from Tompkins should land. And I think Diana and Vladimir are doing a lot of damage, and there is absolutely no MR from anyone on the side of Pew Pew Lazers, and that basically means free kills from the side of Elemental Squad, because the moment Diana and Vladimir dive in, they are definitely going to kill someone.
Yep. I mean, seeing that there's a double AP comp, that's the first item you build MR against them, but you can see that there's no MR, everyone's going for that damage.
Everyone is opted for damage. The Trundle has built random wins, but I would think at this point he probably should start building a spiritual surge.
The Zaya is basically just finished the first item and she's working on a second item, so she's pretty much not doing that much to him right now. Like the moment he gets some MR, he'll be pretty good.
Yeah. The Zaya has opted for Executioner's Calling. It's probably against the Trundle at this point. What do you think of that pickup, Fufu?
It's really good against the Trundle because he heals up a lot just because of his ultimate.
Oh, that damage! Oh, Zarmir Omni-1 solo kill. It is not, and that was actually really well played by Lee Sin to save his teammate. Meanwhile, Tamkin seems to be in trouble. He's gonna flash out this time. He does not fail his flash, and he survives, and that was really well played by Captain Awesome to save his mid lane. And otherwise, that would have been a simple solo kill again for the Vladimir, who is 5-2 at this point. He is quite ahead, but yeah, the shutdown does get onto the Talia, so that's actually good. And Talia also has her items completed. She also has finisher Morello Nomicon, which is going to be useful against some sort of healing against of Darius and the Vladimir, which is very important. Meanwhile, though, I think Trundle is again finding himself in the wrong place. He does ulti, but is he going to be doing a lot of damage? He does seem to be. Actually, he's going to just 2v1 them right now. He tried to do so, but the damage from both the top and the jungle for Elemental Squad was enough to take him out. But damn, he looks scary right there.
Yeah, I mean he just thought he was a little bit stronger. Maybe if he had MR, he would have won that fight. But like the Diana did so much damage for him. So.
Yeah, the thing is, Diana has also opted for so much damage that she is actually quite squishy when someone does damage to her as well, and she has not finished or made her Zonia either. So.
Meanwhile, we can see the Baron has been started, but they just opt to stop it.
Oh, that's a nice engage by the Rakan right there, and that should be a kill onto no one at this point. And oh, that's a double kill from the side of Pew Pew Lazers. So that's actually really well played by them. There was a 4 for 3, to be honest. Like, two members, the main carries were not there for Elemental Squad. I'm not sure why that fight was being taken by them, and now it's gonna be a straight up Baron right there for Pew Pew Lazers.
Well,
let's see
the
Diana
jungler is up, so it's kind of still a risky 50-50 balance.
Yeah, I think Darius and Diana should look to do something because they are so low. If they kill the I was gonna say if they kill the jungler and they just do so, and yeah, that's gonna be a dead Darius. He doesn't get his phaser. He could have backed if he wanted to, chooses to ult the Caitlyn, but now the jungler is dead. And wait, these guys are still gonna do Baron. The jungler for this guy, oh my god, I'm not sure what's happening right there, but Pew Pew Lazers, my guys, you need to back off right now. There is a very fair Diana with 2 complete items in her sheen as she's one-shotting your support, and they will look to smartly back up, and that's actually a trade that eventually works out in 4th. My Captain Mark has gone crazy, boys, at this point. The Trundle and the Talia might just be enough to take care of it. If the Q lands onto them, and it's a nice flash, but that's not enough because the Diana uses the second part of her R to get that, and now Captain Mark might be finally in trouble. But the Darius is there, no, the Vladimir is there to TP, and Captain Mark is bringing Elemental Squad back into this game with his amazing snatches and catches onto Pew Pew Lazers, and Pew Pew Lazers seems to have no answer for this, and now the Trundle might be in trouble as well. He does not have any armor, and Vladimir is just happy, and the kill again goes to Captain Mark and Divine, and that's basically going to be 3 kills right now. Let's see what the next is. There is a ping onto the Baron from Elemental Squad. They should look to do that. The jungler is not dead, but he is pretty low. I mean, he can get caught out. Diana has backed, and I think the Baron is the call that is being made by them, and if they do get the Baron, Elemental Squad will have made an amazing comeback. They were 5k gold behind in 15 minutes for them to get even on gold, and this Diana being the forefront of getting them back right there.
Yep. And also Diana's like on a higher, like she's level 15 and Lee Sin is level 13, so she actually has the strongest might going into this.
Lee Sin is there. And he steals the Baron, my lord. Just when you think this game was gonna be changing from one side, Captain Awesome with the amazing smite gets the steal. Oh, that's a lot of damage by the Talia as well. But I think like Elemental Squad is not looking to give up right now. They get 2 kills back in return, and the Diana is looking to seek revenge on the Baron steal that was taken against her, and she gets a kill onto the Caitlyn. So even though Pew Pew Lasers get the Baron, it's a 3-for-0 on the side of Elemental Squad, and they will look to try to siege the mid lane tower at this point. Or
I don't know why
go for
PP Lasers were taking the fight. Lee Sin should have been a solo mission by Lee Sin just to take that Baron and like steal it away, but he does do that, and like the rest of the members of PP Lasers just decide to team fight after that, which was a wrong call because they got the Baron. They got like enough to stall it out and get some items to hit that late game and fight it out then, but they decided to fight there and they lost few members and now they lost Dragon. Like even though there was a good steal by Captain Awesome, like that was like a bad fight that they chose to do.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I just think that the Diana is just too far ahead. Her Lich Bane completed. Like, if she jumps at either of Caitlyn or Talia, she can burst them down 100 to 0 faster than Tamkin can probably eat her if he's not close to her. So, I would be very, very scared of Elemental Squad right now. They are in the driver's seat. Even though the goal lead might be equal, there is a very, very fed Vladimir and a very, very, very fed Diana right now who can actually just dive in and kill the backline of Pew Pew Lasers. Pew Pew Lasers have to start playing smartly right now. It just looks like they have made a lot of mistakes in their team fighting. They have made a lot of mistakes in their positioning, and that has allowed Elemental Squad to make a comeback in this game. And you know, if all games are going to go like this, it's going to be a very exciting series.
Yep. I really hope, like, I mean the draft phase really went in favor of PP Lasers in my opinion. The early game went, but then they just made so many mistakes that allowed Elemental just to come back in the game right now. And which is like which is probably gonna be their downfall because like the team fight is definitely in favor of Elemental, and if they give away all their lead like this, like people, I mean Elemental are actually ahead in goal for the first time like in 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Like... yeah, that's true. I mean, Talia does have a lot of damage, and she has built a Banshee, which is a smart pickup against a Diana who look to dive her, but. They need to space out the team fights better. They need to get the right picks, and they need to kite when the Diana and the Vladimir jump onto them, and then they need to look to engage back once the kiting is done. So that level of team fighting is not easy to pull off, and that's where I think PvP Lasers are struggling because they do not seem to know how to team fight against this heavy dive comp coming out from Elementalist, and the game is in a bit of a stalemate at this point. Both teams have gotten back to farming. The CS leads right now are completely irrelevant because when you look at the itemizations, you know, you see almost 3 items completed on the top laner, you see around 2.5 items on the ADC. The item disparity is very minimal at this point, and especially in the jungle when you look at it.
The CS lead becomes irrelevant the longer the game goes on, so the 30 CS lead in 30 minutes isn't gonna be like a big difference right now, unless it's like 100 CS lead. Like 30 CS at 30 minutes is very small goal lead, you can say.
Yeah, and Elemental Squad have actually pulled down on that. They were almost 40 CS behind 15 minutes, and now all of them are like less than 30 CS behind. So they have pulled back on that CS deficit, and they are getting their items at this point. So I think they should be very happy just farming up. And the later this game goes, like they should look to split push. Pew Pew Lasers, like I don't know why the Trundle is grouping with them at this point. He should be pushing a side lane because I still think at this point, if he gets, since he got an X-Drinker, no one can really 1v1 him at this point, and he should be able to look to do so. But for some reason, Pew Pew Lasers have chosen to keep the Trundle with them, and they're trying to.
I mean, at the same time, they have a Tamkin, so if someone is like 1v1ing or 2v1ing with the Trundle, Tamkin should just get one more, like, he can just get a free taxi over and they can just completely turn it around.
Most definitely, and this game though, I'm guessing the next main fight might just be at Baron unless someone gets caught out. The bot lane is pushing in this favor of Elemental Squad. The mid lane, however, is pushing in the side of PP Lasers, and top lane as well. I think everyone's just going to look to back and finish their items, and after a lot of grueling team fights in the middle that allowed Elemental Squad to come back, we are now in this stalemate situation where everyone is looking to farm. There's no objective to take on the map. Dragon's not up, Baron's not up. They're not going to spawn for at least another couple of minutes right now. So that's just like people looking to push out the side waves and just get more farm and be more relevant. You do see a Zonia pickup coming on the side of Grimsley. He has finished his Eco's arm guard, so if he does get a Zonia, that's going to be really helpful, because if the Diana jumps into him or the Vladimir jumps into her, she will be able to at least protect herself from some of the burst damage that's coming up from both people. So that's actually a good pickup.
Yep. And you can see like the momentum of the game completely changed. People is going from like trying to fight all the time. Now I've decided to actually avoid fights and get back into the game. So it's up to like Elemental to take charge of this game, so they can just team fight again and again. They shouldn't just play it out more, because the Caitlyn actually gets really scary once she has 6 items.
That's true as well. Like, both the teams actually have good late game scaling in my opinion, but it just depends a lot on how they play out these team fights. Because if the Caitlyn gets caught, I don't think it matters how much damage she has. So it really depends a lot on how they play this late game. This game might just seem to be going on for a longer time. Both the dragon is spawning in a minute and the baron is spawning in a minute and 4 seconds, so that's going to be the next objectives from both sides of the team. And Trundle finally goes top, might just go to look to split push. There is a ping onto Elemental squad onto the dragon, and that's going to be another mountain dragon. So actually if they get that, they should have a lot of...
Was that a mountain or was that an inferno?
This looks like a mountain.
Oh, it's a mountain dragon, my bad.
Yeah, and they already have one already. So if they get two mountain dragons, they're 20% damage against structures and barons. So that will actually be good for Elemental Squad, considering they have a lot of melee champions in their lineup as well. And wards are being put out by both the teams. Right now the vision is somewhat in favor of Pew Pew Squad, at least on the Baron side and at least also on the side of that. And the dragon is spawning in 8 seconds, and both the bot lane just chose to back right now. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, but they have not been noticed, so it might just work out. And then that's a pull by the Shao, and Tabulation might just have eaten off more than he can chew, but I think it's okay. And
at the same time, CPLs weren't ready to take the dragon back then. Lee Sin wants to clear the bot wave, but they're having this next call. If they want a Baron, dragon.
They do finally go for it, and right now you do see Darius is there as well, and the team is just not there for Pew Pew Lazers. And Diana does get the Baron, but will die in the process, and the Darius also jumps. And where is the rest of Elemental Squad? Why are you not with your teammates? So that's going to be a 1-for-0. The jungler will die, even though he gets a dragon. That can probably be a Baron for Pew Pew Lazers, because that's going to be a 4v5, and the bot lane and the mid lane just MIA right now, allows Elemental Squad to get that. And that's just a critical mistake in my opinion from the side of Elemental Squad. They were playing so well, and if the Baron goes
they need to just stop chasing the Darius and actually just do Baron right now.
Yeah. And Captain Mark dove himself for the dragon. Was it worth it if it meant Baron from the side of Pew Pew Lazers? I don't think so, buddy. And yeah, that basically allows Pew Pew Lazers to start the split push going, because Trundle on a Baron buff with a split pushing threat with around completed items is gonna do a lot more damage to turrets.
Hopefully they start doing the 1-3-1 setup right now, because Talia can
also split,
yeah,
and come back and join people with her ultimate if need be. Mark has shown that he is a lot better. When it comes to a bit of macro, I feel as if Pew Pew Lazers have done better. So both the teams seem to have clear strengths and weaknesses. In my opinion, I think they're probably Elemental Squad seem to be the better team fighters, and Pew Pew Lazers seem to be the ones better at getting objective control as well. And Atom Kench might just be in trouble, chooses to run away. Oh, he doesn't. He gets hooked. What are you doing? That's just going to be a kill. He does have flash, but he doesn't even get to use his grey health, and that's just basically going to be a kill onto them. And then finally Trundle starts split pushing. PK out on the side. A TP is being used to prevent him from taking the tower, but he will take the tower, and that's just going to be a wasted cooldown from the Darius. And finally, Trundle has started his split push prowess.
Well, the Tom Kids doesn't need to be there, at least not alone. He needs to go with his team into the darkness.
Yeah.
So in case if he gets caught, he can have some backup.
Yeah, Tribulation has not had a good game. He's 0, 6 and 7 at this point. It doesn't matter if you're Tam Kane, so the amount of times you've died and lost the pressure. That kill basically makes people just lose out so much pressure right now, because there is no siege happening, there is no split push happening, your teammate is dead for another 6 seconds, half of your Baron is already gonna get used up. By the time he comes back, the other half will get used up. So Baron overall does not net them a lot of advantages. Maybe some more items onto the carries, but it's just gonna be a game of inches at this point, right?
37 minutes when the goal lead is just 3k, you can say. It doesn't mean much. The longer the game goes, the irrelevant the goal lead becomes, because after 6 items, you're mostly not gonna get any stronger than that.
Yep, that's true. And the Vladimir at this point has a Rabidons, a Shurelias, a Zonia, so he's looking to do an insane amount of damage. There is a banner of command built by the Trundle. I'm not sure if that's going to be that useful considering Darius can stop him from that side of the map. And at least some siege is on. I know Shao might be in trouble right now. He does, Talia does, Ulti does run away before that could happen. That could be a bot lane tower, and Vladimir, Trundle on the other side is actually doing really well. He's split pushing and almost got the top lane tower too. But yeah, finally we see the split push that was supposed to come out, and Jubilation takes a lot of damage. He uses his Grey Hell to come back in Shurelia. That's going to be the engage from the side of Elemental Squall. Let's see what's going to happen. The Tamkich dies instantaneously. It's a nice kick with the Lee Sin, but Vladimir is just in the front line getting the double kill onto the Talia and the Tamkich, and now there's going to be a kill onto Lee Sin as well. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, you do see Trundle versus Diana, and Trundle is hitting the tower, but that's not going to be that useful for them. The ulti is used by them, and that's going to be a dead Caitlyn on the other side. A nice Zonya by that, but the Trundle is really harmful right now. I think that's just going to be a dead Trundle. He just chose to flash out and run away from the... Oh, that's a lot of fights there. It's a 4 for 0 and 4 for 1 rather, and 1 top lane turret coming out from Pew Pew Lazers.
But technically it was a 2 turret because the bot lane turret also did go down.
This game is getting really close right now. It doesn't look like Diana's able to do much with that. Is that taking 0 damage?
The spell damage, like even her passive damage is spell damage, so only her auto attack does damage to her, which she fails to realize. Like even Lichbane doesn't do damage because his magic damage. The only thing that does, like
actual base AD, that's it.
Unless you have a Trinity Force which does physical damage, like you're not supposed to weave spells and hit it.
Yeah. This game though, Fufu, like we were not expecting this game to go so close as it has been so far. Definitely some advantages, but who do you think that trade was worth it to take? Like they got 4 kills, but on the other side, Pew Pew Lazers got 2 towers. You know, like
as long as they like Pew Pew Lazers are getting close to the NFs and all, like they got open NFs, even though Elemental won the team fight, they got nothing out of it. They just got some kills, that's it. So it's like it's still in favor of Pew Pew Lazers.
Definitely, like Elemental Squad are just fighting, but they haven't even scraped the inner turrets on the side of Pew Pew Lazers. Meanwhile, Pew Pew Lazers have finished out all the inner turrets and they have taken the top lane turret as well, the inhibitor turret. So slowly they are squeaking onto the map, and like if one team fight goes badly for Elemental Squad, you could just see Pew Pew Lazers pushing it out and getting the win right there. So Elemental Squad need to look to these team fights and try to do more from them. And it doesn't
Elemental Squads are like really strong right now in the team fight. They should just use their advantage to start pushing some lanes and like start getting offensive vision. Like they need to become like active now. They've been like just reacting and playing it passive, but they're just gonna lose the game if they just keep doing that.
That's true, and at this point I feel once a Trundle has finished his Spectre's Cowl, Diana won't be able to hold up to that 1v1 regardless of how many kills or Lich Bane she has. I have a feeling that Trundle will just out damage and out split push her at this point, so they need to group and get a fight and just push together as 4 or 5 and try to finish it off, because this split push game, if people start playing, it will not work out in favor of Elemental Squad at all, because right now also they got the top lane inhibitor turret and this Trundle is almost at 4.5 items. He's going to be a split push monster if they choose to play him, because right now this was the first time ever Pew Pew Lazers chose to play Trundle on the side lane, which they should have done from a really long time ago in my opinion, but at least they started doing that and it's already reaping dividends. They got 2 towers, they got an inhibitor tower as well, so if they continue doing that, and if Pew Pew Lazers, the other 4 do not get into fights, you will see the inhibitors also going down. You will see Pew Pew Lazers slowly and etching out this game and getting a victory. So Elemental Squad need to be very proactive and they need to make a play that makes it work. Otherwise, it's not going to work out for them.
At the same time, I want to see the Tomcats actually playing not as a tank but as a support and peeling and saving their teammates. Because last fight he was just in the center taking free damage, trying to be the tank and force something out, which is not his job. Like his job is to just save the carries and whoever's in danger, so they can just the main the strength for Pew Pew Lazers right now is their siege, not their team fight. So that's what they need to do. They just need to siege. They need to save each other and just back off, not fight.
Definitely, and now you do see that the Trundle Captain Awesome Lee Sin has reconnected, and yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting. Hopefully, we will see how this game pans out the more we end up playing this, because It's been a very close game, I have to say. It looks like any team could take it at this point. Do think team fighting is better from Elemental, but they're not looking to finish the game out as properly as they can. So the game does resume back, and Tamkins is just taking some of the top lane minions by himself. He is 0-7, mind you. He's not had a good game so far, in my opinion. Maybe barring except a few saves onto the Caitlyn, nothing much. And the Caitlyn has 4 completed items, including Mortal Reminder, which is going to be really good against a Trundle right now.
You mean the Zaya?
Zaya, yeah, my bad. Zaya, yeah, Zaya has the Mortal Reminder right now. It's gonna be really good.
Well, Caitlyn is actually just lacking, armor penetration, which is gonna hurt her later on. I mean, she's gonna survive sure with the Diana burst and all, but she should never get in a position to get bursted, to be honest. So she needs like the damage item, and she needs to position herself.
Like her 6 item is gonna be Mercurial Scimitar and maybe a Maw Malmortius, which gives a little less damage, at least in front of tanks, but you never know. If Diana has backed it, 18 seconds left to go. The top lane is pushing in favor of Elemental, at least they have that going for them. Mid lane is being pushed out for Pew Pew Lazers, and bot lane right now, Talia just pushed a very big road to bot lane.
Spawning in 10 seconds, and Trundle, I mean, they should just stall it out. Like, they're wasting Elemental's time, and Trundle's getting a free push on the top lane.
At this point, Elemental squad should be the one should do the Elder and then force the Trundle to TP right now. That thing, finally they understand that, and that's what they are doing. Meanwhile, a lot of poke damage. Don't forget, like, Talia also has a lot of damage right now, and it's just, they need to do it now, otherwise it's gonna get worse. And yeah, they realize that, they're gonna do so, and let's see if Suechi is able to prevent the steal from happening, because it's going on really fast, and that's actually a very good thing. Trundle ulti is used, Elder goes into the favor of Elemental squad. T-Fight is going outright, the Trundle comes in and he just flash autos with a very low people. Suechi goes down, but then there's a double kill coming. Diana gets a kill on the Lee Sin, and Diana, there's gonna be a lot of different damage. Korean Streak versus PK, or a Trundle versus Zai, who's gonna win that damage. It does seem like the Trundle has an advantage, and he does queue out, but on the other side, Diana and Vladimir get double kill. That's gonna be a 4-for-3 coming out right there, and the Elder Dragon does go in the hands of Elemental squad. So really well played by them, but damn, this game is close.
I mean, Trundle shouldn't have TP'd in the first place. He was just near the inhibitors. He should have just taken that down. Like, even though they get like he gets some kills out of it, it was definitely not worth TPing, especially that late.
Yeah, and again, I think it sort of goes back to a stalemate. Like, what happens now? Like, okay, Elder's in the hands of 2 of the AP carries in the side. Can they do something about it? Something we'll have to see. I mean, should they go and push out mid, or what do they do right now? I mean, the Vladimir is finishing his 6
at the same
items.
time, they just need to they need to push out any lane, to be honest. They just know it's mid, like. But yeah, since they have Elder right now, like, they're gonna have a really strong Baron fight as well.
Yeah, and Baron spawning in 6. There we go. That's your next objective, guys. Hopefully no steals from Captain Awesome, because if Baron goes in favor of Elemental squad, they might have the tools to push out and get the victory right there. And you do see Trundle is backing at this point. He does not have teleport, so you'll have to rush onto the Baron. But then again, the pings are very strong onto Baron right now from Elemental squad, or help basically. They wanted Diana to go back and finish her Void Staff. Oh my god, Diana has
6 items already.
she's like the first one on the Elemental squad who's on 6 items at this point, so that's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, that is true. If it wasn't for the Talia.
Yeah, Talia got the 6 items as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, this is gonna be fun. This is the team fight where everything's gonna break out, and Tribulation ahead again. I have a feeling this guy's gonna start. Oh, they started the Baron. Not afraid to burst it down, and damage is there. 7, 6, 5, 4. Lee lands his Q again. That's going to be another steal from the Lee Sin, and that's just going to be pretty hard. But the team fight is being won by Elemental squad. The dive is coming onto the Diana, and the Diana kills the Caitlyn. The Trundle goes on as well. Even if they get the Baron, that's going to be 4 kills to 0, or 1 other on the side. And the Talia is getting chased by the Darius, and that's, I think you should stop chasing right now. And oh, are they going to get it? That flash there. There we go. That's going to be an ace. And that's actually going to be an ace. So even though they lost the Baron, they still get an ace, and that by finally means that they can start pushing out the turrets, or can they? Because right now the minion wave is not in the favor, but there is at least a 20-second cooldown on Tribulation.
Well, and they should just go bot and push that instead. That's what the players decide to do.
That's what they seem to be doing. I think they're gonna send the Darius bot, and the wave is coming. This is 1 cannon minion, and that's it. And I don't even think they're gonna get the 16 seconds of the Caitlyn and 4 seconds of this thing. They should look to get more than 2 turrets. I feel as if it's
they're gonna get a turret.
Diana shredding her turrets, and Alright, people are getting separated at this point. Yeah, Darius gets one turret on that side. See, all the outers do go down and they get more gold, but everyone's at 6 items, and I think it just goes back again to being alright. Like, yeah, they lost team fight, but it's still or Trundle might be in trouble. Trundle can get caught out, or is the Diana going to be in trouble? Diana does have Zhonya's, and here comes the Trundle and oh,
And
the Tamkench is ulting, and my boy, is that Ole right there from Team Liquid with that ulti, and he fails. And that's probably gonna be a tower, and Shao on the other side is carrying the bot lane tower. So this death from Tamkench might hurt a lot more than you think it will. That's 4v5 for 45 seconds of the map, and Trundle does come back to do something about it. But at this point, I think Suichi can just look to die. It does not have his ultimate
I like the fact that Elemental actually started taking control of the game and started playing aggressive rather than, you know, just trying to damage.
Oh, Tatalia just gets destroyed. I think he just put the caster's curse right there. Just when you thought things were going well, and that's actually very good.
This is just the wave. What? Talia just blocks her own self and the Lee Sin off right there.
Yeah, that's actually a good escape there from Shahu as well, and oh my lord, this game is going so back and forth. Fufu, like 80 at 45 minutes, the goal difference is 400 gold. Basically, both the teams are at full items almost, and it's yeah, I don't know. This game
it's just
easy to call out
right now. Well, like it's just that, you know, both the teams are throwing the game so hard right now. Like they could have, both the teams could have played it so well if they would actually play their comp and could position themselves correctly, but they just want to like give each other a chance.
They're like no. So let's see what happens at this point.
And you can see again, PP lasers are the ones who are actually, you know, pushing it up, getting the pressure back, which is what Elements is supposed to do.
Yeah, and none of the inhib turrets have been broken by Elemental, and Baron is not going to spawn for another 3 minutes. There's no Elemental, sorry, there's no Elder Dragon for another 3 minutes. So I guess for the next 3 minutes, you're not going to see much teamfights happening. And you know, like even Suichi is opting for a Warden's Mail, probably look to get his Randuins or something like that, and Void Staff on both the mid lane and the jungle. So it doesn't matter how much MR you have, they're still gonna shred through you like anything. And oh lord, this game though was not expecting it to be this close, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, at least not with how the early game was going on, but like you gotta give props to Elemental just to like for like the team fights they've been doing, and we can see like the Trundle looking to poke in the mid lane, trying to get a fight down, but seeing the Caitlyn's not there, they didn't go for it.
Yeah, and to be honest, Captain Awesome did save them a bit, because if he had not stolen that Baron, that would have just been game, I feel. Oh, now there's a nice ulti. Captain Mark is in trouble though, he does Zonya out, but my friend, are you gonna die or not? This is the first time where Captain Mark does not have a good engage, and this might teamfight is looking to go in the face of a very nice 3-man W, but Talia, and the damage is not there for Elemental, and finally Pew Pew Lazers get that teamfight, and that's...
Oh, that was unlucky to see there, but the Caitlyn actually did so much damage. They tried to dive her, but she survived out of all that burst, and like she even opted to sell her boots and get a GA just to survive that whole ordeal.
And I feel as if, yeah, and I feel like this is the first engage in which Diana was not able to chunk anyone out to a lot of damage, and this is just difficult, I feel, right now with 2 people dead.
The respawn time is like 60 seconds right now,
and so there is a minion wave. I'm guessing when this game resumes, like I think you will see people is gonna finally take this victory out. Oh, this is tough, dude. The last team fight though, Caitlyn, and kudos to Grimsley, he did a very, very good Talia W, getting 3 people and doing so much damage. He also has a Void Staff finish, so it really helps, and I think finally it does look like People Lasers might have won out this game. Let's see once the game resumes, once AD goes back. And it's difficult because Korean Streak did disconnect, his GA has been popped, and I'm guessing his lack of damage in the last team fight would have also been pretty unfortunate for them.
Yeah, it is unfortunate because we don't know if he disconnect during the team fight or did he disconnect in the end, because he's I mean, but like you know, when you disconnect, like from it's delayed on the server side to actually disconnect you, but it's like more of a like you disconnect from the client side earlier, so you don't do anything.
I think that might just be the case for Korean Streak. He was playing well up until the last team fight, but I'm guessing he did not have much time to do damage. And it just zero people dead on the side of Pew Pew Lazers. If I were them, I just look to end right now. They have a wave on the top side. They have a wave on the mid side. Take double inhibs, like just just try to
have
finish this
numbers
game
and
off.
everything.
They should look to do that right now. Let's see if they are gonna be able to do it or not. Something we'll have to wait and watch, and hopefully it's only people left. If the Zaya dies, only Vladimir is left alive at this point, and I don't think he's gonna be able to stop fighting.
He doesn't have the longest range to wave clear. Like he has to get closer to them, and if he does, hopefully we'll see a collapse on the Vladimir, and that will
Yeah, but 60-second dead time or Sufu, I can't help but think this might just be GG for Pew Pew Lazers.
Yeah.
Insanely long. It is a very, very back and forth game. We have to say it was very well fought by Elemental Squad. We were behind so much, and the Diana and the Vladimir ults and got them back into the game. But then they lost 2 Barons successively off of steals from Captain Awesome, which sort of made them come back into the game as well. And Pew Pew Lazers finally get one good team fight where the Diana fails to do a lot of damage and the Caitlyn just survives. And that's just basically is going to be a kill for both the Darius as well as the Diana. So hopefully, let's see how if this game's going to stall out for longer or something. We will have to see once the Zaya reconnects.
Hopefully she reconnects soon. Because it's after all India, so once you disconnect, it takes a long time unless it's something like a battle pick or something to come back. Oh, as I said that she does come back, so...
Yeah, I feel bad that the Zaya was probably disconnected the whole fight, and it's unfortunate because his team is fighting, right? So they don't know if the Zaya is disconnected. And suddenly they're like, okay, why are we losing? Because your Zaya is not doing an auto. And it's just an unfortunate thing. I wish we had chrono break just to maybe put back the time to before the team fight started, but we don't. And Indian internet is sadly just a thing that we'll have to deal with. And it didn't look at, even regardless of Zaya damage, it did feel as if the Diana just went in and was completely useless. So even if Zaya was there, I'm not sure how different this team fight would have played out. And the game is going to resume. Let's see.
Well, it is resuming.
Yeah,
there
hopefully
was
it
no
resumes
follow-up
fast.
reply. So they're just waiting it out.
Yeah, game has been unpaused by
on.
Divine. And that's gonna be a dead Zaya, I feel. I mean, she does not have flash or GA is popped. Let's see if she can do something like kill someone before dying. Oh, she does use his. Oh, she dies mid of her ult.
He dies mid-air just because of the ignite damage.
The Tamkench is ulting to the Vladimir. And
Wait.
he's probably gonna die at this point or not. He's just trying looking to tank the tower and use his grey help.
There. I mean, just pop the gay shield and survive.
Yeah, that's just gonna be the end, I feel. 50-second dead time. Vladimir has to base. Let's see if he can pull out some final team fight that can do a lot. And there is a sorry from bonus team. Obviously, Caitlyn does not realize that the Zaya was dead. He did try to do damage, and Divine's gonna be in trouble. His W is being used, Relay is being used, but he's just gonna get caught out and killed. And that's basically gonna be an ace, and that's the first game going to Pew Pew Lazers. Unfortunate for Elemental Squad, giving them kudos for having a really well played team fight, and they were able to come back from the early game. But Pew Pew Lazers kept it cool, put the struggle on the split push, were getting some of the objectives better than Elemental Squad, and rightfully so deserved to win this game. So it's 1-0 on the side of Pew Pew Lazers, guys, and we will look at the damage charts right now just to see who did a lot of damage. I'm assuming the Diana gonna do a lot.
It has to be the Diana and the Vladimir.
Yeah, but
the most damage.
But the Talia as well did a lot of damage, and kudos to them for that. So guys, this is the
he
first
wanted
game.
The Talia pick, so he did the damage. So it's
he did. He proved his worth on Talia pick for sure. He did a lot of damage, a lot more than just about anyone in the team. So this is game 1 for us, guys. We will be resuming with game 2 in just around 5 to 6 minutes. Hold on, it's not over for Elemental Squad yet. They are 0-1 in the best of 3 series, but if they can win both the other games, they can qualify to the finals. So stay tuned. We'll be back with the second stream shortly.